pile of the signs of the zodiac. I'm Pam, the Lucky Mermaid, psychic, seer, and modern mystic, bringing you psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides for this full moon in Sagittarius, June 11th, 2025 psychic crystal reading for each of the four elements: earth, water, fire, and air. The earth signs are Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. The water signs are Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And the air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. You may want to watch the entire video because this full moon in Sagittarius is not just going to affect your sun sign only. So if you know the elements that correspond to your sun, your moon, and your rising sign, I recommend you watch all three of those. And if you're born on the cusp of your sign, sometimes your psychic predictions and messages are coming to you from there. So if you know the element that goes with your cusp sign, you may want to watch that part of the video as well. Because remember, sometimes your rising sign and your moon sign are going to resonate more for you than your sun sign. And if you're born on the cusp of your sign, as I've said, sometimes your psychic predictions and messages are coming to you from there. So you might want to check that out. I just want to let you know that if you want to hear who won the 2 giveaways I had for the new moon in Gemini reading, you can stick around to the end of this reading and I will announce the winners. Also, I have some new video series you might be interested in checking out. All the links to my Vimeo videos where I look at special topics using a variety of divination tools. Those links are posted down below in the description box. I've done some really important ones. The mid-year psychic tarot update. We're already at the mid-year. Those readings are available. Also, my Saturn in Aries videos are available. Saturn's in Aries for 2.5 years. So you may want to get your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, or all three, to see how Saturn in the sign of Aries for 2.5 years is going to affect you. Plus, my Neptune in Aries psychic tarot readings are going to be something you might want to check out because Neptune is in Aries for 14 years. So when you get those Saturn in Aries and Neptune in Aries videos, you can go back and watch them over the 2.5 years, over the 14 years. Go back and check them out. And any of the videos you purchase on Vimeo, because you know in these videos, I always say timing is different for all of you in these general readings that I do here on YouTube. So, you know, it definitely, if you're buying the crystal readings or any of the other readings I do, you know, you've got to go back and check them out if time frame has already gone by, because your timing on those subjects may be happening later. So you might want to go back and rewatch those and check those out. Also, my psychic crystal readings for June are available. That link is down below in the description box in the Show More section. These links are also, not all of them, I'm very bad about getting them over there. It takes a long time, but many of them are over there on my website, the links on the videos page at theluckymermaid.com. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't know that they'll be edited in time for you to click down below. If they are, the link will be there for my Love and Romance Mid-Year 2025 Psychic Tarot and Oracle Card Update for each sign of the Zodiac. These mid-year readings are very popular. The mid-year update and the Love and Romance mid-year update. So if my son has finished editing them, because I've recorded them, you may want to check those out. And the first half of each card, I'm looking at the single people of your sign. And then I move on, and the second half of each card, I'm looking at the coupled people of your sign. And then there's an oracle card for each, the singles and then the couples. But I recommend you just watch the entire reading because there's definitely going to be crossover in from singles to couples, from couples to singles. So if you want to see what the second half of this year holds for you in general and also in love and romance, check those videos out. But like I said, I don't know if the love link will be down there yet because my son's got a lot of videos to edit. He's always working on editing videos. So hopefully that link will be down there by the time this video is posting on YouTube and Rumble. Don't forget my Rumble channel at the Lucky Mermaid LLC. So don't forget, stick around to the end to see who won those two giveaways. The one for in the USA and the one for outside the USA people. So all that being said, now on to your psychic crystal reading for this full moon in Sagittarius, June 11th, 2025. And I'm starting with the element of Earth. This is Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. You could be up to your old tricks, Earth signs, where you're like being a trickster or you're doing things that you used to do in the past. You could be revisiting them now. You could also make some things come to an abrupt halt that you're not, that, you know, could be a relationship, could be a job, could be some kind of habit or routine or diet, anything like that. You may make some things come to an abrupt halt from this full moon, but some of you are going to have trickster energy where you're going to be like, oh, I'm up to my old tricks. What were the old tricks that you used to do? You might be up to them again over the course of the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days for the Earth signs. Some of you are going to want to take things out of storage, attics, basements, closets, and start using them again or restoring them. Some of you might get rid of some stuff, but I really feel it's like repurposing, refurbishing, restoring, getting things out of storage, basements, attics, closets, under the bed, wherever you have stuff, storage units that you haven't used in a while. It could even be clothes for some of you, but I really feel it really could be clothes. But some of you, I feel it's more like other types of objects and things. You got to be careful, Earth signs. You may think you have all the answers about something, but you don't. So if you have to make any kind of big decisions or you know, like big moves, big changes, or embark on some kind of new course of action, or you're giving advice to someone, you may need to rethink it or dial it back because you may be so sure of yourself, like, I got all the answers, I know this inside and out, I know the right thing to do, but really you don't. There's something that you're missing or you don't have all of the information. This full moon in Sagittarius could light some of you Earth signs up like a Christmas tree, where you're like, you know, real sparkly and shiny. You could be really effervescent, very bubbly, funny, witty, outgoing, like all that kind of bubbly, kind of upbeat energy from this full moon in Sagittarius. You may go through a period of time, Earth signs, over the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days, where you're like really questioning a lot of things that people are saying to you. It could be me here on YouTube. You could be like, I'm questioning her. It could be people you know. It could be other people you watch on the internet. But it's like you feel like sort of, I don't know that I want to say unstable or out of balance, but you have something's making you question people a lot. Some of you could start your own business over the next 30 days, especially the days around the Sagittarius full moon. And for the first 2 weeks, it's going to be the strongest, but it could last up to 30 days. So you may start a business during that time frame. Some of you are going to be really tending to your garden. You could be planting a tree, or creating a gazebo or some kind of awning, something that would give you shade. Or just like putting in a lot of plants, growing plants, watering plants, dealing with plants, but especially trees, but also anything that gives shade. Now, here are the 3 cautions for the earth signs. You could be prone to a lot of emotional mood swings. One day you could be up really high and happy and jolly, and maybe even in the same day later on or the next day, you're like completely the opposite, feeling down, blue, depressed. So you could experience some really strong mood swings. So try not to freak out if that happens. It's just something to do with this energy that's making it happen. It's not like there's something wrong with you. So here's the next caution. You could possibly feel like you've been let down or betrayed by somebody. But you earth signs may not have all the information. So don't be quick to and too impulsive to accuse somebody. You need more information. So here's the 3rd caution for the earth signs. You have to be careful of any kind of like, don't get mad at me, okay? This is my guides say things and I repeat it. Any kind of snobby behavior or elitist behavior, or like looking down your nose at somebody, even if that's not normally the way you normally behave on a usual day, but you know, people can have like a bout of it here or there where it happens. If you don't watch out for that, it's going to come back and bite you, especially through social media. But it could be like people at work, or people in your family. It doesn't necessarily have to be on social media, but you know, try to tone down. If you suddenly feel that vibe come up in you, where you're like, I feel like you're kind of like looking down on somebody or their behavior, or something comes out of your mouth that sounds like kind of elitist or snobby, it's going to backfire. So stop yourself from saying it. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the element of water. This is Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Some of you water signs over the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days are really going to let loose and let your hair down and be more like free and free flowing and more relaxed and wanting to party it up and have more fun. You may suddenly decide to do normal routines and normal things in a totally changed and different manner. Could be the way you drive to work, could be, you know, the way you do your daily routines in the morning when you get up. It could be anything that would be a daily routine. I feel like this full moon in Sagittarius is going to make you switch things up. There could be something that sparks up a little jealousy in you from this full moon in Sagittarius energy. So it could be like a friend of yours or a relative or maybe even your love partner. Something good or positive happens for them. And even though you may really deep down be happy for them, you could have a twinge of jealousy about it. Like, well, why isn't that happening for me? Or why are good things happening for this person, but not for me? So I don't feel like it's like deep-seated jealousy. It just feels like, well, why them and not me? You got to be careful, water signs. Somebody's snooping around and poking in your business. You could have a neighbor going through your trash. Could be somebody just driving by, and going through your trash. But it could also be somebody poking around, like if you have an office at work, they could be poking around your desk. They could be poking around in your computer if they can get into it. This could also be a love partner. Maybe they're snooping around in your phone or your computer history or looking through your stuff. Like, your kids can do that too. I mean, come on, when you were a kid, didn't you snoop in your parents' stuff? I know I definitely did. Not a lot, but I know for sure I did it. So, you know, there could be some snoopy going around for you over the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days. So be on the lookout for that. Some of you water signs, my guides say a broad band of conversation could happen. This could be over the internet. Wi-Fi could be involved because I get broadband. So it could be Wi-Fi related or computer related. So it could be on Zoom or some other type of online conversations. It could be you're making videos of some sort and you're broadcasting them out there. So like broadband, some type of broadband communication is going on for the water signs. And this comes up as a blessing. So it's not just ho-hum whatever. It is good. It's good for you. This is a weird message. Welcome to Psychic Readings and Weird Messages. I hear that there's going to be some fruit that is really ripe to pick. So if you're going to go to like where I live, there's blueberry farms near here, not right where I live, apple farms. Where you live, it could be peach trees, apple trees, I don't know what, raspberries, blueberries, strawberries. You may go on some kind of like little excursion and pick a lot of ripe fruit, which you could be using to make jellies and jams or something else that you just want to eat them. But I do get that. I don't know why they tell me that, but somebody out there is going to tell me that they went berry or picking or apple picking or something. Some kind of tutorial or instruction or speech or lecture that you give is going to go really well. It's going to make you look good. People are going to appreciate it and like it. This could be something you're doing in person in front of an audience or a classroom. This could be on the internet. Remember when I got broadband, it could go back to that. So now I'm moving on to give you the 3 cautions for the water signs from this full moon in Sagittarius. Your skepticism and doubt is the most dangerous or costly issue for you. So don't have a lot of skepticism, self-doubt, trepidation. Any of that kind of energy is not going to be good for you water signs over the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days, and especially the day of the full moon and the day around the full moon. So here's caution number 2. I got this before recently. Leakage, seepage, pipes. I see a pipe leaking. I see a crack in a pipe and drip, drip, drip. It could be in your basement. It could be under your crawl space. It could be under your sink. I feel it's water. I don't feel this is some other kind of liquid. It seems like water. So watch out for some kind of leak, something leaking. Could even be hot water heaters or something like that. Air conditioning systems, hot water heaters. But I see it as a pipe. And I'm looking up at it. So I feel like I'm down and it's up. You could be digging your heels in about something and be very stubborn and very fixed. And that isn't the best position for you to take. Or you could be digging into some kind of subject you really think you want to know about that you maybe really don't want that information. So be careful of being stubborn and digging your heels in. be careful of digging into some kind of topic that maybe there's something questionable about the topic, but digging your heels in or digging into something like that is not advised. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the element of fire. This is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. I feel like some of you fire signs are going to be like laughing it up, whooping it up, party, 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 let's go, let's go, let's go. Being social, wanting to break out of old structures and old routines and, you know, have fun, cut loose. This is a weird message. Some of you, though, however, are going to be trying to hide from a friend. They either want you to do something you don't want to do, or they want to hang out with you, or they want to come over, or they want you to help them move, or they want you to help them do something, and you're going to be like hiding from them. Some of you fire signs are going to be casting a wider net. This could be literally fishing. If you go out fishing, you may go out way farther than you normally would. Or if you use a net, which most people don't unless you're a professional fisherman, you could be literally casting a wider net or covering a bigger territory in fishing. But it could be fishing for a job or a love partner. And so you could be casting a wider net, like going to other places that you normally don't go, that are kind of out of your area or out of your comfort zone. Maybe you're not somebody that likes dating websites and apps. Well, you may venture outside of your comfort zone on this fishing expedition. So what are you fishing for, fire signs? You got to figure that out. I don't know. I'm just telling you what my guides have set up to this point. So it could be literally fishing, job fishing, romance fishing. Some of you are going to get invited to attend some gathering. And I feel that this is going to be fun, uplifting for you, or an event that you like. And I got to tell you, I have to say, there is a Boston Terrier, and you know, I have Max. If you've been watching me since the beginning, I used to have Jack, good old Jack, he passed away. And then I got Max, and before Jack, there was Petey, and Petey was a Boston Terrier too. So I've had 3, although Max is brown and white, the other 2 were black and white. There is a side profile view of either a Boston Terrier, a French Bulldog. I feel it's one of those 2. But whatever, so the gathering you go to, maybe they have a Boston Terrier or a French Bulldog. Or it could be some other message for you, fire signs, that you need to look up animal totem dog. And it's a pretty big profile here in the crystal. If you get any opportunity to show off in any way your talents, your skills, your appearance, your work, your projects, your creativity, whatever it is, it's going to pay off for you. It's going to go well. It's going to be well thought of, well received. If you're monetizing it, it's going to do well financially. Over the course of the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days, but especially the day of the Sagittarius full moon and the days around it, the energy is the strongest. If you had any kind of skin conditions, rashes, maybe even other kinds of illnesses, but especially related to skin conditions and rashes in particular, they're going to go away. They're going to get healed. But it could be something else, like an allergy or something else you've had, maybe even to do with your eyes as well. It's going to get healed over the course of the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days. If you go on any job interviews, I feel like you could get that job immediately or really super fast for you fire signs. So here are the 3 cautions for the fire signs. You got to be careful you don't eat too much. You don't drink too much, you don't eat too much, and you don't imbibe too much. Not too much drinking, drugs, recreational drugs, whatever. But especially eating. You got to be careful of that for the next 30 days. You got to be careful, fire signs. You don't let somebody into your life that you really don't have to. So you may feel like, oh, this is a good friend to have, or, oh, this is a coworker, but I kept them at a distance. They were just a coworker, but now I'm going to let them into my life. You don't really have to do that. And I feel like at some point you're going to wish you hadn't. So if somebody's kind of like parallel to you, like on the outside, you don't need to let them into the fold of your personal life and personal relationships, even though you may be feeling closer to them and getting along with them more, or you feel like, hey, yeah, maybe they're like, and keep in mind, they may be trying to get more integrated in your life, but you've kept them at bay. I would still do that based on what my guides are saying here. Loose lips sink ships. Some of you fire signs are going to say something that you shouldn't. And remember that old saying, you can't unring a bell. And I feel like you're going to say something. Either it could be a secret of yours, a secret of somebody close to you, or just maybe you think you're giving somebody a compliment. You know, like how many times have you seen on sitcoms where somebody says, oh, when are you expecting? Because the lady has a little belly and the lady turns around and says, I'm not pregnant. It could even be something like that. So keep that in mind. You don't want to put your foot in your mouth, fire signs. You don't want to do it. So I hope these messages were of help to you and I hope they made sense. Now on to the element of air. Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. You may have to do things repeatedly over and over again. So if you're writing something or recording something or doing some kind of work or project, you could keep making glitches or mistakes or things that you're forgetting or leaving out. So over the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days, you may come across a time period during that time where you're going to have to keep repeatedly doing something. Some of you air signs are going to be way more gregarious, outgoing, and friendly from this full moon in Sagittarius energy. This full moon could make some of you air signs want to see people and reconnect with people you haven't seen or heard from or talked to in a long time. This could be a full moon that makes you want to keep track of things and keep a record of things. So it could be of something your neighbor's doing or not doing, something your kids are doing or not doing. It could be things on your credit card statements or bank statements. Or just other things you're doing. Maybe you want to keep a record of the calories you're eating or how many steps you're doing in a day. Or, you know, if somebody's sick in your family, a pet, a person, you may feel like, I need to jot this down and keep a record of what days they have good days, bad days, and all of that. So keeping a record of things is going to be very important. Expenses, bills, anything. You're going to be inspired to do that, the air signs, over the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days. Some of you air signs are going to see some results. So something that you've been trying to achieve or you've been working on and putting your energies to and putting your mindset to and your efforts, you start to see results. Some of you are going to travel. Some of you air signs are going to travel and take some kind of trip, but it could be short term, but it also could be long term. I'm sorry, it could be short distance or long distance. Whoops, sorry. It could be short distance travel or long distance travel. That's what happens when your head's between listening to the ethers and the spiritual realm and planted down here in the earthly realm. You know, woo, back and forth. Some of you air signs could have a new relationship that forms and blooms. Now, it could be a love and romance relationship, but it also could be a friendship or even some type of business associate. But it's something that blooms here. Now, here are the 3 cautions for the air signs. Be careful you don't get sucked into something too deep. And it could be a TV show that you're watching and you could find yourself watching too much TV, or some project you're working on that you're like tirelessly working day and night, day and night. It could be a love relationship that comes along and you get sucked into it too deep. So try to keep things on a more even keel and in balance. Some of you need to be very careful if you are working with any kind of paint or stain. You could burn your skin somehow. The chemicals in it, if you don't have on protective gloves, it could be your eyes, but I really feel more like it's your skin. So if you're doing anything with wood, staining wood, painting wood, or even if you're sanding or sawing wood, you need the protective goggles, you need protective gloves. So be very careful of that, because I feel like there's burning going on here. And you also need to be careful of burning wood. If you're doing any kind of burning of wood, you could burn yourself. Some of you air signs could get into a bickering or fight with a family member. And you could say something you wish you didn't say in the throes of the bickering or the argument. So you really need to be careful about that. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now I'm going to announce the 2 winners of the giveaways that I did in the new moon video. So first, the winner of the new moon giveaway for the USA winner, which they get the gemstone box, is HRH_TAM. So you need to email me at my business email address, luckymermaid7@yahoo.com. And when you write to me, you've got to give me your mailing address so I can ship that box of gemstones out to you. And the winner of the outside the USA is, and they get the Vimeo video of what's lucky and new for you in 2025, is, I'm going to spell it because I don't know how else to say it. It's RENACCC 7736. So you need to email me at my business address at you need to email me at luckymermaid7@yahoo.com, and then you tell me what email address you want me to send that link to that What's Lucky and New for You 2025 video on Vimeo. But you also need to tell me what zodiac sign you want. You can pick any one. You just got to let me know which one. So congratulations to the winners of that giveaway, and stay tuned for the next giveaway I'll be doing in the next new moon. And by the way, I can't pin both of you. I can only pin one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a comment under that video right at the top stating the two winners, but hopefully you're listening to this video. So as always, thank you so very much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. And please like this video, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out a lot. I'd love this channel to keep growing, and the algorithms will not recognize me and this channel unless you guys comment, share, subscribe, like. It really, really does make a big difference to every channel on YouTube. Just clicking that one little like, thumbs up button makes a big world of difference. So I just want to let you know, I'm going to name some of the videos. I've already said at the beginning of the video, I told you about the new video series, right? I told you about the mid-year update for 2025, the love and romance mid-year update for 2025. I told you about that. My crystal readings for June of 2025. Those are all new. I told you about the Saturn in Aries videos. I told you about the Neptune in Aries videos. So the other videos that are available, if you're interested, is my past, present, and future psychic tarot readings using the Osha Zen Tarot deck, my What's Lucky and New for You in 2025 psychic tarot and oracle card readings, my eclipse effects from the full moon lunar eclipse psychic tarot crystal and oracle card reading. That was for the March 14th, 2025 eclipse, and the new moon solar eclipse in Aries, March 29th, 2025 psychic tarot crystal and oracle card readings. They're all still available. You're still being affected by those eclipses, by the way. So if you didn't get either of those series yet, you might want to do so. I have had people tell me they find the eclipse videos are like private readings sometimes. Also available are my financial psychic tarot readings for 2025 and my big love readings for 2025 for singles and couples. Also my New Year 2025 10-card Celtic Cross psychic tarot readings. There are a lot of cards in that reading, a lot of predictions. If you didn't get your New Year reading yet, you might want to. The mid-year is already out now, but if you didn't get the New Year one, you may want to get that. Also, my psychic crystal readings for the new year of 2025 are available. Now, if you go to my website, all those links are there. Well, the newer ones, not yet. I'm very slow about getting them over there because it takes me a long time to link them. And I'm a one-man band here. Well, actually, I'm a two-man band because I got my son, Dan. He does the editing of the videos, but everything else, all social media, all video recording, and anything to do with my website is done by me. So sometimes I can't do it. I've got juggling a lot of balls in the air. So sometimes it's slow for me to get them over there because it does take a lot of time to link them all. So also, you can follow me on my social media pages if you're interested. I'm on X, and my X handle is Pamela Georgel at The Lucky Mermaid, and on Facebook, The Lucky Mermaid LLC. And I am also on Instagram, but I don't post there anymore. I may start to do it again, but I haven't done that for quite a while. And I'm The Lucky Mermaid _ Pam Georgel over on Instagram, but so many scammers have copied my pictures, my posts. They try to get other people to fall for it. They contact people on any social media platform that I'm on and try to pretend they're me to solicit money, readings, whatever they're trying to fake out over there. So make sure I'm never contacting you unless you're on my wait list or my cancellations list. If you're not on either of those, you're not hearing from me. So report those people that do that to you, because they are scammers and they really do need to be stopped. So I hope you'll block them and report them. So I hope you have absolutely amazing energy that comes to you from this full moon in Sagittarius, June 11th, 2025. And know that I wish you many blessings and peace.